Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the New Zealand Warriors 2021 season review. A disappointing year for the Warriors. Obviously, another year away from New Zealand. They were not able to play any games at Mount Smart Stadium in 2021 due to the pandemic. So they started the season at the Central Coast and they had to move up to Queensland with every other NRL side due to the virus in Sydney and all that situation. Disappointing year for the Warriors under the new head coach, Nathan Brown. But before I get into the Warriors season review, make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Comment your thoughts on the New Zealand Warriors 2021 season in the comment section below. And most importantly, guys, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so via the PayPal link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into the 2021 season review for the New Zealand Warriors. And the Warriors finished the 2021 season in 12th position on the competition ladder. They had a record of 8 wins and 16 losses, 18 competition points. They missed the top 8 by 2 games, I believe. The Titans were in 8th spot there on 22 points. The Warriors missed the 8 by 2 bloody games, so pretty unlucky for the Warriors. We'll go through that season. So they started the year well in round 1 with a win over the Gold Coast, 19 points to 6. A loss to the Knights, 20 to 16. Probably one of the best wins of the year. A comeback against the Raiders, down 31-10. Comeback to win 34-31. A loss to the Roosters in round 4. A loss to Manly by 1. They beat the Dragons by 6. They lost to Melbourne on the Anzac Day game, 42-20. They beat my Cowboys in a tight one there, 24-20. They lost to Manly by 6. They lost to the Eels at Magic Round, 34 points to 18. They beat the Tigers 30-26. They lost to the Cowboys by 1, 29-28 up there in Townsville. Then they had the bye. Then the Warriors were beaten by Melbourne 42-16. They lost to Newcastle by 4. They lost to the Dragons by 1. Lost to Cronulla by 8. Got beat by the Panthers by 14 points. Lost to the Rabbitohs 60-22. Pretty bad loss there. Beat the Tigers 18-16. Beat the Sharks 18-16. Beat the Bulldogs 24-10. Going into round 23, the Warriors were a good chance for the top 8. The loss to the Broncos really hurt them though. 24-22 loss there. Lost to Canberra 28-16. And the final loss of the year, 44-0 loss to the Gold Coast Titans. So, as you can see, the Warriors season, very, very up and down. Some good stuff there, some bad stuff there. A very inconsistent season for the Warriors. I want to talk about the head coach, Nathan Brown. His first year as the Warriors head coach. Now, going in to the 2021 season, the Warriors' expectations weren't very, I wouldn't say they were very high. They were expected to be, around that 7 to 12 position. They did meet the requirements there. They did finish 12th. But going into the last couple of rounds, you'd think the Warriors would have finished a bit higher than 12th. Would I give Nathan Brown's first year as head coach a pass mark? I probably wouldn't personally. At the start of the year, us, the fans and, people like the media, they have their predictions. I don't think many people had the Warriors inside the top 8, but I think the Warriors probably lived up to the fans and the media's expectations in around that, 7 to 12 bracket. I think the Warriors' expectations, the players and the people that work at the club probably expected to play finals. They would have been disappointed with their season, and they would call their season a failure. And I say this about every club: if you don't make the top 8, your season is a failure. If your ambitions at the start of the year are not to play finals football, then you shouldn't be in the competition because I don't care who's on your roster. You got to be playing finals football, no matter what. Now I know everyone can't play finals, and the Warriors are very inconsistent at doing that every year. But the Warriors will be very disappointed that they did not play finals football this year. And I think the Warriors, they're one of those sides where if they get it right, they can do anything. But the problem is, can they get it right? I don't know. But If I had to give the Warriors season a rating out of 10, with 10 being the best, 8 and 9 being good, 7 being really good or decent, I guess you could say, 6 and 5 is probably a pass mark, I'd give the Warriors 2021 season probably a 4 out of 10, simply because I would say it's still a failure of a season, but again, being away from New Zealand again, it makes it very difficult for them. The second year in a row away from New Zealand, very tough for the Warriors. They haven't played a game in New Zealand since 2019, I believe. It's been a while now. Or 2019. It's been a long time since the Warriors have played a game in New Zealand. So going into next year, 2022, the Warriors are going to have the first 15, 16 rounds there. Probably be up at Redcliffe. They're going to be playing up at Redcliffe. I believe that's going to be the home venue for the first half of the season. They might be able to play some games at New Zealand at the back end of 2022, but I guess it depends on the government and the border and all the situation there. So we'll see how it all goes about. But I'd probably give the Warriors season a 4 out of 10. Now, their best win and their worst loss. Now, there's a few of them that were very good. I think one of their best wins was the game against Canberra, where they were down 31-10. They came back to win 34-31. A great comeback there from the Warriors. Another good result for them this year. I think the game against the Sharks back in round 21, they were down 16-6. They came back to win 18-16. Another good result for the Warriors this year, I thought, was the one against the West Tigers in round 11. 30 points to 26. That was a good result there for the Warriors. And I know round one, everyone talks about round one just being, a regular game, but the Warriors beating a team like the Titans in round one, who were very overrated going into the start of that year. The Warriors winning 19-6 against the Titans in round one was a very good result for them. Their worst loss, they've got a few of them that were pretty bad, Losing to Melbourne 42-20 on Anzac Day was pretty disappointing. Losing to the Rabbitohs 60 points to 22 up at Sunshine Coast was very, very poor. And the final round against the Gold Coast as well, 44-0 loss there was really bad. I'd say their two worst losses was round 25 against the Titans, 44-0, and 60-22 loss against the Bunnies in round 19. The best win, I'm going to say the one against Canberra where they came back to win, 34 points to 31. And I'd say the one against the Tigers in round 11 was a pretty good result for the Warriors. Now, some of their players that were good and bad throughout the year. I thought Bunty Afoa had a pretty good year. I think he's a very good player. Bunty Afoa off the bench, that impact, his hair looks outstanding. I love his haircut. I think Bunty Afoa had a very good season. I think Leeson Armour was very consistent. I thought he was good. Ewan Aiken had a pretty good year. I know he had a few injuries at the start, but when he went to the back row, he looked like a much better player. I thought Rocco Berry was good when he played. Josh Curran was very good. He improved a lot. Wade Egan was good, but pretty inconsistent as well. He had some good moments there, but he also had some average moments. Kane Evans, I think Kane Evans is more of a street fighter than an actual rugby league player. He's a bit of a dead shit. He's not going to be at the Warriors next year, so good riddance to rubbish. Addin Fonua-Blake, a bit like Ewan Aiken, had some injuries early on, but when he came back, he was outstanding. I thought Addin Fonua-Blake, I thought he was outstanding for the Warriors. Toru Harris wasn't too bad. I wouldn't say he had a great year, but I thought he was solid overall. Chanel Harris-Tavita had a few injuries, but he probably had a disappointing year. I expect more from Chanel Harris-Tavita. I think he's a player of the future. I think he's a great player. I rate him highly. I think he was a bit disappointing this year, to be honest. Peter Hiku was pretty good for him. Eli Katoa had a bit of Eli Katoa, I think he had a better 2020 than 2021, personally. Edward Cossey looks like a good young player coming through. Matt Lodge was bought mid-year. I thought he was okay. Jack Murphy, average at best, I thought. Ben Murdoch-Masila, I thought he was a good buy for the Warriors. I thought he was a good signing. He started really well. His back end of the year wasn't good, but it doesn't help when Nathan Brown puts Ben Murdoch-Masila in the front row. Look, here's the thing. If you're going to play Ben Murdoch-Masila, You got to play him right edge back row. That's his spot. You leave him there. That's his position. He can play left edge if you need to, but Ben Masila is an out-and-out second rower. Don't try playing front row with Fanil Blake. Don't play him off the bench in the front row. It just doesn't work. Leave him on an edge because that's where he's more destructive. Cody Nikorima, I thought he was disappointing this year. He had a shocker. Sean O'Sullivan was good for the Warriors. Adam Pompey had some good moments. I thought he was good. Bailey Suridan was shit, in my opinion. Chad Townsend was bought mid-season. That just did not work out at all. He did not suit the Warriors system. Chad Townsend, I know he's going to the Cowboys. I might sound a bit biased here, but Chad Townsend probably suits the Cowboys system more than the Warriors system. He wasn't good for him whatsoever, so that didn't work out. Roger Tavasashek left at the back end of the year. I thought he had a pretty good year. He was very unselfish, played a bit of footy on the wing for the young Reece Walsh, which was very good. And finally, Reece Walsh, he had a very good year. A breakout year from Reece Walsh, arguably one of their best players. If I had to pick out their worst player for the Warriors, Just Tavanga he pissed me off a little bit. Cody Nikorima was average. And I think Kane Evans are probably some of the players for the Warriors that were very disappointing. Some of their good players. You know, I think Ewan Aiken had a good year. I think Adam Fanil Blake was very good. I believe Reece Walsh and Tavasashek were very good as well. Everyone else, you know, they had their very up and down moments. But overall, the Warriors, a very inconsistent season. And it's going to be up to Nathan Brown going into next year to see what they can do. Obviously, mentally, it would take an effect on the Warriors being away from New Zealand. But hopefully the Warriors can go a lot better in 2022. I'll give the season a 4 out of 10. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the Warriors go next year. But guys, that's it for the 2021 New Zealand Warriors season review. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, thanks for watching. And good luck to the Warriors in 2022.